Hey guys, what's up? Thought I should make a video because it's been a while. I just got back from college about 3 weeks ago. And when I got back, I came back to a pretty big surprise for the tank. The tank kind of broke out in hair algae. Uh, all my SPS died. And yeah, so for the past 3 weeks, I've been basically fighting that hair algae and figuring out what happened to the SPS. And I came to the conclusion that for the SPS, for one, obviously since there's hair algae, there was a phosphate issue or a nitrate issue, one of those two, most likely a phosphate issue. Um, so I've been doing 50% water changes, cleaning out the hair algae and whatnot, cleaning out the detritus in the back, and trying to just clean out the system because it has been running for around a year now. And the way I have my brother and mom taking care of the tank, they don't really have to siphon out the detritus. I think that would just be too much of a difficulty for them. They just suck out the water from the water column, which leaves a lot of detritus built up in the back filtration and behind the rocks and whatnot. So, yeah, I'm guessing that's how the hair algae happened, and that's basically probably what killed the SPS, along with the fact that my alkalinity when I got back was 6.0 and my calcium was around 380. So obviously the kalkwasser couldn't keep up with the growth of the tank, even with the higher concentration on the kalkwasser. So let me go ahead and give you guys a tour around the tank, and then I'll show you guys what I'm going to be changing on the tank to fit the higher growth and fight the algae. So here's the Monty. Purple tip, purple rim Monty. If you see that brown left corner edge over there, not sure what happened there. I think a coral hit it or something. Not entirely sure. But otherwise, it's a really healthy Montipora. I mean, you could see the color on that thing. It's all green, purple tip, purple rim. The guy in the back, that guy used to be over there on that rock. And I moved him from that rock up there because he was getting shaded by this giant one over here. And basically, it was browning out the one in the back, and you can kind of see that on the color of the surface. It has some green, but it's also browned out. So I put him back there so he can catch up on some color. Shouldn't be too much of an issue if my alkalinity's stabilized. Over here, my zoanthids, they've basically exploded. I don't remember how big they were in the last video, but if you want to go check that out and compare them, they've basically covered the entire rock. It's really amazing. Really happy with that. And then over here, more zoanthids. Got those, I don't know what they are. They're like pink zippers or flamingos. I'm not sure. So many names. Just can't even keep track anymore. But the ones next to that, those are some like designer Rastas I bought a really long time ago. Maybe a year or two ago. And I always just kept a frag of them. But yeah, they're basically exploding too. The only problem with those is that the hair algae is kind of choking out the light and the surface, so I'm hoping the zoanthids growing around it will choke out the hair algae over time as I pull it out and lower the parameters for phosphate if it is an issue still. Although it probably is low since all the algae is growing. So there's the chalice. It's the orange eye chalice. Don't know what it's called, but it's a cool coral. You can see the orange eyes when I drop the brightness on the camera. But yeah, that's that. And then I got more zoanthids up here. They're just a variation of those guys over there. There is a slight difference in them now that I look at it. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And then that's my carpet anemone. He's pissed off today. I have no idea why. He usually opens up pretty big. I'm assuming because of the whole alkalinity issue, he's just been pissed off in general. But yeah, he's having problems. And then down here is my Favia. He's just starting to open up again. Let me drop the brightness so you guys can see the colors on him. Oh, sorry about that. He's just starting to open up again. I just put him there. I'm pretty sure he doesn't like that spot. It's right by the pump. And he used to be over here, but I moved him there because he kept falling over. And I just moved those zoanthids right there, so these guys actually were growing behind the rocks. They fell over and they started growing on the glass, on the bottom glass surface, and I just kind of pulled them off and then put them like that so they can grow onto the rock and somewhere I can see them, somewhere useful. So yeah, that's basically the tour of the tank. All the equipment's the same, WP-25. I'm trying to get that replaced by an MP10 or something. It's becoming an eyesore for me, but we'll see what happens. I'm not going to do that unless I get a really good deal on one, which is highly unlikely, but we'll see. And then I got the Corelia up here, and I still got my urchin, which is right there. Whatever it's called, Halloween urchin or sea egg urchin. There's a lot of names for it. And yeah, so it's basically all of the tank equipment in the back filter, same thing. Pump, return pump, heater, Eheim heater, running a bag of GFO, and I'm not running a filter pad anymore. That's why the water is kind of cloudy. I should probably put that back in soon. But yeah, and then all the equipment's stuck on a switch. The rat's nest down here, still all the same. All the electronics for my DIY lighting. This table is really starting to fall apart. The door doesn't even close anymore. I'll have to fix that later. But yeah, hopefully this table doesn't fall over one day with all the salt water that's spilled onto it. But yeah, okay, so for what I'm doing to fix this low parameter issue, so I'm going to be running Kalkwasser, but I'm going to lower the dose on it, and then I'm going to run ESV's B-Ionic at the same time using my doser. One of the pumps on my doser doesn't work anymore, so I'm going to have to run the two working pumps and then the Kalkwasser. So basically the Kalkwasser will cover all my elements, trace elements. It'll cover obviously alkalinity, calcium, strontium, and magnesium. I'm using Brightwell Aquatics Calc Plus 2 for that. So I'll lower the concentration on that and still drip that every single 24/7 actually. I'll just lower the amount it's dripping and whatnot. And then over here I'll start dosing alkalinity and calcium using my doser at low amounts. That way I can also replenish my core elements at a constant rate to keep up with the growth of the tank. That way when I come back, let's say in December, when I come back in December, it should be perfectly stable and thriving in theory. So yeah, that's what I'm planning to do for the low parameter issue. As for the phosphate issue, I've been doing 50% water changes for the past 3 weeks. I'm probably going to lower that amount, maybe. Actually, I might do one more 50%. And then change out the GFO, clean out the rocks. I'm going to add a cleanup crew again, and hopefully it'll clean up all the algae, and I'll siphon out all the detritus in the back of the rocks and whatnot, and in the back of the filters. And then that's what I've been doing for the past 3 weeks, so it's actually getting kind of better. So So yeah, that's basically it for the phosphate issue. Um, Yesterday I was doing a water change and the craziest thing happened. My female clown took a bite of some wet super glue when I was gluing down a coral, and that was very eventful. I had to basically take the fish out, use some tweezers, and pulled the super glue out of its mouth. It came out really easy. I don't think any pain occurred onto the fish because, like, as soon as I put the fish back into the tank, she started eating again and whatnot. And I mean, she's eating today. She looks just fine. I got to it really quick, so it wasn't like the glue set in her mouth or anything. Um, but yeah, that was a kind of scary and eventful day when I was doing the water change. I mean, for the time I've been doing this hobby, I've never had that happen to me, which is kind of crazy. Um, so yeah, so that's about it for this video. Everything is the same, lighting's the same, whatnot. So yeah, give you guys one more shot at the tank. So yeah, thanks for watching, and have a good day.